Hello, my name is Abdi Warsame, and I serve as the Executive Director and CEO of the Minneapolis Public Housing Authority. Thank you for your interest in MPHA and our 2023 Moving to Work annual plan. But before we dig into the contents of the plan, I wanted to first remind you of the mission of MPHA and the work that we do. The mission of the Minneapolis Public Housing Authority is to promote and deliver quality, well-managed homes to a diverse, low-income population, and with partners, contribute to the well-being of the individuals, families, and community that we serve. MPHA houses people in every ward of our city. In fact, on any given night, Minneapolis Public Housing Authority ensures that 26,000 people in the city of Minneapolis have a decent, safe, and affordable place to call home. We do this through our MPHA-owned and operated homes, including 42 high-rises, 746 single-family homes and duplexes, 184 townhomes, and over 5,000 housing choice vouchers. MPHA has a special designation from HUD called Moving to Work. Moving to Work, or MTW, was enacted by Congress in 1996 for less than 40 housing authorities. In recent years, HUD has begun an expansion initiative to further promote localized solutions to affordable housing to over 130 public housing authorities across the country. MTW allows MPHA to try things that regular HUD regulations do not allow. This gives us more flexibility to serve residents better, and it allows us to create special programs to meet the needs of our Minneapolis community. HUD requires that MTW activities meet one of three required objectives. Those objectives are cost effectiveness, self-sufficiency, and increasing housing choice. MPHA has 18 implemented activities that help us meet these objectives. You can see these listed on this slide. The annual MTW plan includes an introduction, information about our MTW budget for next year, our plans for major repairs to buildings, data and information about MPHA, as well as details about how we act as an MTW agency. This year, MPHA is not proposing any new MTW activities in 2023. Looking ahead, the agency is currently developing a new 5-year strategic plan. This plan, informed by the agency's board, residents, voucher holders, staff, and external stakeholders' input, will establish guiding principles that will be reflected in next year's 2024 MTW plan, including any possible new activity proposals. We are also marking updates and improvements to some existing activities. As a Moving to Work agency, MPHA will continue its already approved activities that allow us to serve our community in special ways. This includes our Stable Homes, Stable Schools program. Through this program, MPHA and the City of Minneapolis work with Minneapolis Public Schools and Hennepin County to provide housing support directly to families of children in the district who are experiencing homelessness. The successful outcome of the program participants during the 3-year pilot phase has led us to discussion with our partners on how we can best scale this program to continue to house families across the city. Moving to Work status also allows MPHA to continue to find new ways to provide deeply affordable housing. For example, the MPHA townhomes completed in 2019 was constructed in partnerships with multiple public entities and one philanthropic contribution to provide housing to families earning below 30% of area median income. The households are referred by Hennepin County's Coordinated Entry Homeless Shelter System. Other MTW programs allow MPHA to subsidize units throughout HCV program that help provide services to target populations, for instance, homeless youth and people who are exiting the prison system. The MTW plan is a lengthy document filled with a lot of information about MPHA's work. I want to highlight some of the development work we will begin in 2023. In 2023, MPHA continues to work on our scattered site rehabilitation. In October 2020, MPHA completed a Section 18 conversion of more than 700 units of family housing across the city and transferred the ownership of these properties to its nonprofit entity, Community Housing Resource, or CHR. This strategy allowed us to consider opportunities for redevelopment and adding density. From this analysis, MPHA identified sites that could be redeveloped and replaced with 84 new family site scattered units. This development strategy allows MPHA to access bonds and low-income tax credits, along with other soft sources, to create additional, deeply affordable family housing for our community. MPHA intends to close on the financing and break ground on construction in fall 2022. Following the closing on the financing for the 84-unit construction, and with work concluded at the Elliott Twins, MPHA has begun to look towards its next redevelopment priority. Carefully analyzing which property to next focus our attention on to ensure our housing asset remain viable for the future. Currently, MPHA is considering a conversion and comprehensive renovation and property transformation at 315 Lowry Avenue North, as the agency completed at its Elliott Twins high-rise. However, before proceeding with this work, the agency will have conversations with residents to ensure there is a shared vision of the building improvements and what enhancements will serve residents best. Working with and for MPHA residents helps guide the agency's work, and these conversations ensure we are honoring our commitment to collaboration with MPHA residents and other community stakeholders in co-creating a vision for the future. In the plan, we address the major building repairs we plan to do next year. We call this our capital spending. The annual federal capital grant award meets about 10% of the capital needs of MPHA's public housing portfolio each year. Throughout our history, MPHA has maintained our public housing to high standards despite these persistent funding challenges. Just to address current needed repair and replacement in public housing assets, we estimate it would take nearly $210 million to undertake this work. And that's not including making any property improvements that would help better serve our residents. If left unmet, this amount will grow to an estimated $600 million in the next 20 years. Thankfully, MPHA is working with our federal and local partners to attempt to turn the tide on these overwhelming capital needs. As a result of a federal government spending bill passed in the spring of 2022, MPHA is projected to receive $20 million in capital funding from HUD in 2023, an increase of more than 20% from the prior amount the agency received. This increase will help fund capital repairs that continue to focus on high-priority work like fire suppression, retrofits, elevators, windows, roofs, plumbing, electrical systems, and the exterior masonry repairs. Beyond the increase in capital funding from HUD, our federal delegation, Senator Tina Smith and Amy Klobuchar, along with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, helped secure a $2 million investment to support MPHA's work to retrofit its high-rises with fire suppression systems. But perhaps the most important partnership the agency has developed in recent years is with the City of Minneapolis. Recently, the city has contributed $2.15 million towards fire suppression retrofits, $2.3 million to the Elliott Twins redevelopment, $5.8 million to the 84 new unit family housing redevelopment, and recently announced an additional $2.7 million investment in 2023 on top of the reoccurring $1 million in the city's budget to help the agency overcome its capital backlog in the CHR family housing portfolio. The City of Minneapolis has been a tremendous partner to the agency and continues to prioritize the agency's residents and voucher holders. The agency's capital backlog is significant, but here at MPHA, we are using every partnership and tool afforded to us through our MTW flexibility to ensure that this critical housing is available for generations to come. Thank you for learning about the Minneapolis Public Housing Authority and the 2023 MTW Annual Plan. The completed draft plan is available on our website, including an introduction translated into Somali. Additionally, a copy is available for viewing at our office at 1001 Washington Avenue North in Minneapolis. There will be a public hearing on September 28th at 1:30 p.m. at the Cora McCorvey Health and Wellness Center. You can send a written comment on the plan by using email or mail. Complete information available on the MTW webpage. On November 16th, the MPHA board will meet for final consideration of the plan before MPHA submits it to HUD. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video and learning more about the important work that we do at the Minneapolis Public Housing Authority.